Good morning. My name is Julie Jacobson. I'm the town manager here in Auburn. And on behalf of town administration and our Board of Selectmen and our chairman, Ken Holstrom, who's here today, we want to welcome you to Auburn. We are thrilled to host such an event today. Very exciting. And before we get started, I want to introduce our state representative, Paul Frost, who's going to say a few words.
Thank you very much. I'm State Representative Paul Frost. I'm from here in Auburn, but I'm also represent Millbury, which is another grant recipient winner today, and Oxford and Charlton. I just want to say welcome to the town of Auburn. Thank you for doing everything you folks are doing in your communities to be greener, to be more energy efficient, and you're doing your constituency a great service by doing so, as well as our environment and to our Commonwealth. I want to thank Secretary Beaton, my former House colleague and friend, and his entire agency and department for continuing to support this program, to award the 47 grants today. To all the 47 recipients, congratulations, and keep up the great work. And once again, I'm very glad that the Baker-Polito administration and Secretary Beaton and so on and so forth are continuing to support your efforts, recognizing those efforts, and working with you to make Massachusetts greener than it is today. So thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. And we will have other speakers, and Dan Napick, who is the director of the Green Communities Program, is here as well. So if you could just please join me in welcoming our special guest, Energy and Environmental Affairs Secretary Matthew Beaton, and the Department of Energy Resources Commissioner Judith Judson, as well as Dan Napick. Dan will be emceeing the event today, so before I turn it over to him, I just wanted to make a quick mention. The town of Auburn received our Green Community designation in 2012, and since that time, we've received 2 competitive Green Community grants, and both the school superintendent, Dr. Mary Ellen Brunel, and I, and she is here as well, we can both attest to the benefits and the real tangible benefits of this program. Since the town has received 2 grants, we've been able to perform interior lighting retrofits at 6 facilities, including one very large one at our Auburn High School. We've done building envelope sealing and weatherization at 4 facilities and HVAC upgrades at 3 facilities. Here in Town Hall, we're very excited about this. Our most recent grant provided funding to convert this building from oil to natural gas, along with the installation of a high-efficiency gas boiler and an energy management system. So here alone in Town Hall, because of this and because of some of the behavioral changes that we've instituted, our energy manager, Eric Lesperance, has done a great job. He's here today, having people just learn a different way to save energy. We've seen a 16.5% reduction in our consumption of electricity and a 46.2% reduction in our heat fuel consumption since our baseline year in 2012. So we did apply for another round this time, and we're hoping, because we're hosting, that we may have good news coming our way. But I don't want to jump the gun on that. So we're looking forward to hearing the announcements today, and we want to welcome all of you and congratulate all of the award winners today. So please join me in welcoming Dan Napick, the Green Communities Director. Thank you.
Thanks, Julie, and I think you're going to be okay today. I don't know exactly, but I'll keep you in suspense. But I want to thank all of you for making the trip up to Auburn. We are now a large community of 155 members strong, and this is a great process, which I'll talk about a little bit later, how we went through the selections. But without any further ado at this point, I'd like to introduce Secretary Beaton to the podium to say a few words. Mr. Secretary?
Thank you, Dan. Thank you to the town of Auburn. Thank you, Representative Frost, my good friend and former colleague. Manager Jacobson, thank you very much for hosting us. And on another rainy day, it seems like last year, I remember it was an exact same rainy kind of day for this event. I don't know what that says about this event, but nonetheless, thank you all for taking the time out of your day to be here with us. It was always a pleasure for me to be here in Central Mass because I live 2 towns over, so it was a nice commute, better than going into Boston today. But it really is a great pleasure for me to be here representing the Baker-Polito administration for what is a very exciting day, because this program is a model program for our partnerships with the municipalities. And as I'm sure all of you are very well aware, Governor Baker and Lieutenant Governor Polito have gone very far in trying to show their commitment to municipalities. And this is a great program for us to be able to partner with municipalities to accomplish many goals simultaneously, one of which is ours on the state level, trying to incorporate greenhouse gas reductions across the Commonwealth. This is a great opportunity for us to be able to advance those goals and meet those goals while helping municipalities meet their own goals while also lowering their energy costs. So a program like this is just a wonderful opportunity for us to celebrate that shared common goal we all have. 155 communities across the state. 54% of the state's population have adopted the Green Communities Pledge, made the Green Communities Pledge, adopted it in their own municipal town meeting, and have gone a long way. We have been able to put in over $60 million into this program, partnering with the municipalities, and today we are here to announce more grants for 47 of our 155 green communities. So on behalf of the entire Baker-Polito administration, I say thank you to all the great work that you do every day, the great partners that you are with our administration, and congratulations. And we look forward to giving you the. Do we have checks, Judith? Do we have like little checks? What do we go? One big sign. Okay. The real check, the good check's in the mail. It'll be coming soon. So thank you all very much for being here with us today. Before I finish, I actually wanted to just say very big thank you to Dan and Commissioner Judson for their great work. Their team is awesome, and we are so proud to be able to work with such great individuals to implement this program. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I wanted to take a moment to recognize Representative Chris Walsh from Framingham, who's joined us today. Mr. Representative, thank you. Now, without any further ado, I'd like to ask my boss to come up to the podium, the finest boss I've ever had in my long life, Judith Judson. Commissioner, come on up, please.
Good morning, and thanks for that introduction. I want to also thank the Town of Auburn for hosting this event today, and to all of our Green Communities partners for being here, and it's an exciting day. And I'm pleased to say that after today, the Department of Energy Resources will have provided over $60 million in grants to our local communities. And today alone, our 47 communities, the total is about $9.6 million. So pretty excited to be making that announcement. I do want to add, though, that while we have our green communities, right now we have 155 green communities. Over half the population of the Commonwealth lives in a green community. We do programs run by our Division Director, Dan Knapik, that touch on all 351 towns and cities across Massachusetts. We are working to help provide a path towards clean and efficient energy that can provide long-term cost savings for our communities, as well as strengthen the local economy. We're doing technical assistance grants. We're doing grants to various municipal light plants, as well as our other towns. We're also doing grants to drinking and wastewater facilities. So we're looking at ways that we can touch upon every community in Massachusetts, because it benefits. It not only provides benefits to the environment, which is terrific, it also provides cost savings. And those cost savings can then provide for our municipalities funding for other things like our schools, our fire, our police. So with that, we have kicked off an initiative. We're doing listening tours across the Commonwealth. We had one here. Our first one was here, right in this room, a couple months ago, where we met with the various communities here in central Massachusetts. A couple weeks ago, we were out in Western Mass, and then later this week, I'll be up in the Merrimack Valley. And we're going to continue those so that we can take input on how we can continue to grow and strengthen our Green Communities programs. We're looking at ways to have more LED street lights, which is a great savings. We're looking at ways to grow the amount of electric vehicles and chargers in our communities, and other things that really take our Green Communities programs to that next level. So because of the fantastic work done by cities and towns, state agencies, business, and individuals, Massachusetts has been a leader in energy efficiency as well as clean energy. I'm happy to announce we've been the #1 state for 5 years in energy efficiency. We're hoping to maintain that ranking. And without a doubt, a lot of that comes from the work that each of you are doing in your individual communities to enable energy efficiency. We also have a tremendous amount of clean energy projects. We now have over 45,000 distributed solar projects across the Commonwealth, and that's something that as we move forward, we're looking at how we look at those programs going forward. So our future success depends on the work you're doing, and we look forward to continuing this partnership and making these awards today and moving the Commonwealth forward in efficient energy, clean energy, cost-effective energy. So I'll close by I just want to recognize Dan Knappich is a terrific division director, former mayor, really understands municipal issues. So definitely we want to keep those lines of communications open and continue to grow these programs. I also want to thank our regional coordinators. I hope, raise your hand or stand up. I'm sure you all know them. We got Kelly Brown, Central Mass, Joanne Becerra, Northeast, Jim Berry, I saw. There's Jim in Western Mass, and Seth Pickering from the Southeast. So if you have any questions about your grant today, definitely see them, and they will be happy to help with now going forward, which is the next, probably the tougher part of that, which is implementing the programs that you applied for. I also want to thank Representative Frost and Representative Walsh for being here today. So with that, I want to wish you congratulations. Hopefully the next part of, I think our next part of our program will be announcing the awards that you got, so I won't keep you in any more suspense, and thank you.
I wanted to thank one person who couldn't be here today. She wanted to be here, but due to some last-minute logistical items, she couldn't make it. She is an absolute tireless advocate on your behalf, and that's Jane Pfister. If many of you do know Jane and you communicate with her, and if you get a chance, I have since November in my arrival here have had the great pleasure to work with Jane, and she is an unbelievable asset to not only the department, but also to you, the communities, the work that she does. So if you get a chance, send Jane a little email or give her a call, tell her you appreciate the job she's done, because right after today, we're going to put a lot of contracts into motion, and she's going to have a really, really busy next couple of weeks. A couple of other things I just wanted to mention before we get away with on with the grants is, one of the things that we like to hear from the communities is how we can improve the program and to help align them with the state's targets for greenhouse gas reductions. And then I wanted to give you an insight into how just a little bit of language change, we're able to move the ball a little bit forward on an effort that's really important to the administration. Coming into this fall session, we're looking at how can we incentivize further acquisition of chargers, electric vehicle chargers, and electric vehicles. So we made a little bit of language change in the competitive grant round process. And we didn't really know what to expect. But let me share with you a couple of statistics. From 2010 to 2015 December, we had given out about $198,000 between vehicles and chargers, okay? And that seemed like a pretty good effort. With the input of our great regional coordinator staff, changing the language just a little bit, I'm very pleased to say you responded nicely to that. In this one competitive grant round, the request approached $224,000 in one grant round. So congratulations to you for picking up on that opportunity. And what's really important to the administration as we move forward is right now on the highways, we've got about 7,000 registered plug-in electric vehicles. By 2025, we have a target to get to 300,000 cars, 15% of the fleet. And part of the job of Green Communities is to assist significantly with how we can incentivize you to get that ball moving. So thank you for responding to that. I was overwhelmed when we ran the numbers on that to find out how much of an impact that made already right out of the gate. Now, the last thing I wanted to mention before we get to the awards is to just give you a little bit of an insight into the process. So this was my first competitive grant round, 5th one in the department. The regional coordinators, if you can imagine, we locked ourselves away in a room, and I was like the referee with a whistle, and I just let them go at it. And it was unbelievable how incredibly diligent they advocated on your behalf. And it was hard to go through because every project generally is worthy, and there's some have some specific nuances that make it very difficult. But in the end, I think this, in my own opinion, was probably the process where I think we walked away pretty satisfied that in the end of the day, the money that's coming from ACP or Reggie funds is going directly to where it needs to go as requested. So I was very, very happy to walk away from that process with no black eyes or broken bones or anything. And but I'll tell you what, to see the RCs go at it in a competitive grant round, that is a sight to behold. So I want to thank Kelly, Seth, Joanne, and Jim. You guys are a great team. I'm very lucky to have you in the department. You guys do fabulous work, and I'm looking forward to the other opportunities that we have in front of the Green Communities coming up in the next year or so. So without any further ado, I would like to take some of the suspense out of today, ask the commissioner to come back up and begin the process of declaring the grant awards. If we could just hold the applause till her section comes in. She's going to read a half section, and Secretary Beaton's going to read the other half. So, Commissioner, come on up.
All right. I think I have the second half of the alphabet. Do you want me to read the first half, second half? I'll start with the second half. All right, we're going to start with the second half. So don't worry, because I'm starting with M, but if your town is before that, you're coming next. So we'll start with the town of Millbury for an amount of $247,661. I guess, oh, yay. I don't know, were we holding applause? It's hard to hold your applause, right? Town of Natick, $250,000. The City of Newburyport, $250,000. City of Newton, $250,000. The town of Pembroke, $250,000. The town of Petersham, $29,982. Town of Rockland, $245,839. The town of Scituate, $207,506. Town of Shirley, $72,742. City of Somerville, $248,922. Town of Sutton, $121,732. The town of Tewksbury, $187,201. The town of Townsend, $202,770,000. Town of Tingsboro, $250,000. Town of Upton, $170,633,000. Town of Wenham, $249,950,000. Town of Westford, $250,000. Town of Westwood, $210,142. Town of Williamstown, $65,936. Town of Winchester, $215,204. City of Winthrop, $119,649. City of Woburn, $250,000. And the City of Worcester, $248,849. And now I think the Secretary is going to announce the other half.
Thank you, Commissioner. And the other half. Town of Amherst, I'm going to go rough numbers, $175,000. Town of Arlington, $247,000. Town of Ashland, $224,000. Town of Auburn, $186,000. Town of Air, $217,000. Town of Berlin, $123,000. City of Beverly, $195,000. Town of Bridgewater, $202,000. Town of Brookline, $125,000. Town of Carlisle, $202,000. Town of Chelmsford, $247,000. Town of Concord, $250,000, halfway there on my list. Town of Framingham, $250,000. Town of Hamilton, $250,000. Town of Hanover, $144,000. City of Holyoke, $115,000. Town of Hopkinton, $174,000. Town of Lancaster, $250,000. City of Leominster, $250,000. Town of Lexington, $244,000. City of Marlborough, $194,000. Town of Maynard, $246,000. City of Medford, $250,000. And the Town of Medway, $216,000. Congratulations to you all.
See, if I had done that earlier, there would have been no need to listen to that. So I want to thank the Commissioner and the Secretary for such a great job today. And before we depart, I know the RCs have some information for you as to what your grants entail as far as the measures that we approved. I believe we have the handouts. Kevin, did those come with us? So I think they're up here. And certainly I would direct you, if you have specific questions on that before you leave, the 4 RCs are here as well. And we also wanted to take a group photo with everyone before we depart Auburn, and I want to thank Auburn once again for being a fabulous host today. And I figured once you get settled, and we'll take the group photo probably in a couple minutes right up here on the podium. We got to get set up a little bit, but we'll probably do that in about 3 or 4 minutes. Okay. So thank you. I appreciate your attendance today, and congratulations.